Demon Skull Bikini Top. Enough said. Got a piece of 18 gauge. It was just a piece of scrap that was lying around. I've just hammered a slight dome in there. I'm now going to be heating it up in the forge and hot raising it over this ball to create our initial dome shape. Here we go. Okay, so I've spent about 20 minutes hot raising this, and you can see I've got a fair bit of depth there, sitting up about 2.5, 3 inches high, which is sufficient depth and about the right cup size for what we're trying to do for our bikini top. This will give me just the rough form or shape to work with. Now I'm going to start sculpting in. So this is just a necessary first step to get me to that point. I was working over the ball here, and if you've seen my videos before, I've talked about this many times. When I'm raising, I'm hitting like this, where this sheet is on the ball and the hammer is hitting right beside it, and I'm coaxing the metal forward. So by doing that hot, very quickly I can get depth there that cannot be achieved by dishing. Doing that with dishing, you're gonna stretch it very quickly and make it thin and it'll crack. So this is the way to achieve a shape like this, happen fairly quickly. Now we're gonna move on and do the real sculpting. Hi there, Thak from Thak Ironworks. What is happening here is a collaboration video. Jonny and Brittany from Wartree Ironworks reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in doing a collab, and I had an idea in mind, and Brittany actually seemed like a suitable candidate for what I had in mind, which is the Demon Skull Bikini Top. And basically, I have a design that I've had in mind for many years, and it's just something I've never gotten around to. This was a perfect opportunity to get into this. So if we just take a look down here, you'll see what I've come up with. So I guess my initial inspiration for this particular thing was the Danzig Demon Skull here from his first self-titled album. And I just thought that had a really nice generic demon skull look to it. It's got all the markers that you need. It's got fangs, it's got angry eyes, and it's got horns. So that was basically my criteria. And with that, I did a little clay mock-up on a mannequin bust. All right, so that you see my little clay mock-up there that I did, just kind of hugging the boob. My idea being that I want the horns to kind of come up and frame around, so the top of the boob is exposed there, kind of a bustier sort of thing. And my inspiration for the horns was Maleficent, a Disney character. I just liked that recurve on the horns. I thought that was really kind of exciting. So that's my basically set up for trying to figure out what I want to do. This clay mock-up is fairly crude, but it gives me at least a topographical map of what I'm trying to achieve as I go into the steel now. So as far as this collaboration, I will be making the sculpted cups, the sheet metal portion, and then I will be handing it off to Jonny and Brittany, and then they can get the thing mounted up with rings and spikes and what have you. I'm going to let them do whatever they want in order to make this thing as badass heavy metal as can be. So here we go. I'm going to start now by just soapstoning or chalking out my basic features and then right into the sculpting. Okay, 2 passes over the stakes of roughly hammering it into shape, and I've gotten it to this point here, which I think is looking pretty exciting. I'm pleased with it. So quite a bit more refining to do, but you can see if I pull up our mannequin, you can see my clay. Basically, I've gotten to the point now where it is useless to me. I've exceeded past the rough sculpt on that. So we slap this on a boob here, and you see how that is going to sit on there. Everything is mating down nicely in there. You see how it hugs that, and then allowing that space for the top there, which I think is going to be a nice, sexy reveal. So, going well. Now I have to anneal it again, and this thing is work hardened. So I'm going to anneal it again and do another pass over the stakes, and then from there I'm going to clamp it in so that I can do some more repousse, not repousse as I've been told, it's repousse. Some finer detail, and that will be the final step there. I don't want to refine this thing overly much, but at the same time I would like to get things sharpened up quite nicely. I want to make this quite a dramatic look. So I would say we're halfway through this process. Okay, I'm hoping these are going to look better on Brittany than they do on me, but coming along, I've got the second one. I brought them both up to the same point where they're basically roughed out. This one has done a little more profiling. In either case, I'm at the point now where I'm going to be putting them, fastening them on, where I would typically at this point would go to my pitch board here, fill it with pitch and put it on. This shape does not lend itself well to that, and I thought I would try to do it over the actual shape that it's working on, so working on my ball. The problem is using pitch for that, I can get it in there, but as soon as I start working, it starts chipping and it just starts bleeding out the bottom there. So I thought I would move to natural clay here and use that as my backer. It's going to be a little bit more forgiving as far as staying in place there, and hopefully it'll provide enough backer to allow me to do the finer detail. So I'm just gonna, what I've done is drilled and tapped some holes into my ball here, and I'm just gonna bolt this piece on and see what happens. Okay, I think I'm about 14 hours into the process now, and I've got the 2 roughed out. You can see this one in the more refined stage, it's actually cut out and everything. This one a little farther back the path there. So still quite a ways to go on refining. I just want to show you how they actually fit to the torso. Okay, so that is what I'm looking to get, and I think that's pretty exciting. So you can see how it fits on there when the 2 pieces then will both be coming off. So you've got their skulls are kind of leaning away from each other there, and I like the way it kind of just decays into the body there. Of course, it's fitting. I'm making it form fit to this very specifically, but these are hard boobs, whereas the actual real woman's breast is a very malleable object and quite soft and movable. So the great thing about that is this will be able to, should be able to put her boob in there and shove this up. There'll probably be rings pulling this whole thing up here, and this will just fill up very nicely and make that provocative little scoop there. That's where all the attention is being focused on. So the other piece, you can see there's quite a lot that has to happen to get the shape to conform here, and really I was working on trying to get a profile that I felt really accentuated the form, not just the breast itself, but just the female torso in general, the way it swoops up and back and everything like that. So that was an aesthetic that was very important for where I was going with this. At this point now is this is still very crude here, and I can do quite a bit of refining. The question is, how much refinement am I actually going to do with this? And that remains to be seen. As I said, I'm about 14 hours in. I've got a few hours even to get this one to catch up here. it really, I guess, depends on how much stamina I have on this particular project. But next time we come back, I've got a couple days I've got to get back to my real job here. I'm trying to run Thak Ironworks, and then see if I can get a day that I can spend some time and see how far I get. When we join us next week, I should have these finished off and then ready to send off to Jonny and Brittany in Washington State. So due west about 2,000 miles or something like that. So they'll be traveling quite a distance, and then they will take over, and let's see what they come up with. That's it for now. All right, several hours have elapsed, and what I've done is done some more further refining on this shape and filed out the teeth and stuff like that. Got the horns shaped nicely. Then what I did was wire brush the whole thing with an industrial wire wheel, and then gun blued it, and then with Scotch-Brite products I brought out the highlights to make a nice stark contrast. We're not going subtle here. When you're doing Demon Skull bikini tops, subtle is not the word that you're looking for. So anyway, I think things came out pretty good. We're just setting up a shot here for our chest set where we're doing individual pieces. So we're just kind of experimenting with our little turntable here and our setup. Not sure what this even looks like on the camera, but I'm hoping you're getting some decent shots on this. So that is it for me. Now I'm going to be packing these up and sending them a couple thousand miles straight west to Washington State to Jonny and Brittany at Wartree, and then they are going to build the harness assembly for this, spikes and rings and leather and stuff like that, and get this mounted up, and Brittany will be modeling it for us then. So that's my portion. Let's see what happens when these guys take over. So that's it. See ya!